Hello everybody and welcome to Rift Wizard 3. I'm Alias and I'm joined today by Shake. How's it going, Shake?
Hello there, I'm doing alright. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're going to be doing a brief little discussion about some generically good items in Rift Wizard 3. This is kind of like a tutorial of sorts. Basically, these are items that will make your run significantly easier. If you're newer to the game, or you're like new to Rift Wizard 3 in general, these items are going to make your runs so much better. So yeah, let's get started. First off, you can see that I've gotten all of the components. I'm using a nifty little cheat mode, and
Oh my God, it says it right there on the screen, he's cheating!
yes, so that way we can look over some of the items. So first off, we're going to look at Fay Plate. Now, Fay Plate is a very simple item that consists of an A and an M for components, which actually makes it an extremely easy build because there's two separate 3-component items that show up very commonly. There's AFM and AEM, and both of these, plus one single component item, can get you this in a single floor. So you can have this by floor 2, if you keep an eye out for it. And yeah, all it does is gain 1 shield each turn, up to a max of 3. And that's extremely good. Obviously, it's a very small amount of shield, but Shake, why don't you explain to the people what shield does?
So shields, I believe the term is ablative. Basically, it doesn't matter how much damage you take, you're okay. You're just going to lose 1 shield. They can hit you for 500 damage. You just lose 1 shield. It is incredibly powerful in the early game, especially for getting over that floor 5 hump. Like, the hard part of the game is, can you make it past floors 5 and 6? And this will help a lot.
Yeah, so it's especially useful against, like, singular tough enemies. So it's perfect for when you, like, clear a room and it's just like a boss left and you have to puzzle that out. The Fay Plate will, like, pretty much guarantee your survival. So
there's also a nice, a little hidden feature of it. It's 1 shield per turn. Poison is 1 tick per turn. It makes you immune to poison effectively.
Ooh, that is nice. That is very nice.
Oh yes. Saved many a run where there's that damn statue that does poison every turn.
Yeah, that is a rough one. Next up, we've got another shield granting item. This one is Silken Sandals. It requires an H and a T. T is fairly common. H is pretty common as a singular one. You're going to be going after this one pretty regularly, the Holy Icon, because it summons a False Prophet to fight for you. This thing is just super handy for clearing early floors, so it's a great component. And this one is more expensive than the Fay Plate, which is noteworthy. But yeah, this is conditional shield rather than guaranteed shield. But the maximum potential for this item is higher. So when you take a step, gain 1 shield. Now, you know, if you think about it, this is just like straight up worse without any sort of augmentation, because the other one is unconditional shield. But you can take half turns in this game with Quickstep. There's a couple of various ways you can get Quickstep, and another one of the items on the list is actually Quickstep boots. Which makes it so you take half turns when you're walking. So that, in combination with Silken Sandals, will give you incredible extra mobility as well as a bunch of extra shield. And yeah, shield good, mobility good. These are both very strong defensive tools. And you'll find a lot of the items on this list are defensive, because when it comes to, like, making a build in Rift Wizard, offensive tools are very catered to, like, highly specific stuff, so it's harder to advise when it comes to aggressive stuff.
It also pairs very well with something that's on screen right now, is Pulse Accelerator.
So yeah, there's multiple uses of Quickstep, or multiple ways to get Quickstep, and Pulse Accelerator is another fantastic one for that. Once again, that one's a little bit more specific, though, because you have to be using blood spells. So, yeah, if you were doing a blood build, you'd forgo Quickstep boots and instead go for a Pulse Accelerator, for example.
Yep. I have actually just purchased Blood Bullet to enable Pulse Accelerator, because it also gives you 2 turns of Quick Cast, which is just stellar.
Yeah, that is really good. That's an interesting way of doing it. That's cool. Okay, so the next item that we've got on our list, I did veer off there a little bit already, but that's okay. The list, it isn't like any of these are significantly better than any other item. They're all just like generically very strong. And, I mean, if you have to take away anything from this video, is buy Fay Plate.
Oh yeah.
It's a really good item.
So many of my runs just evolve into like, all right, let's buy Fay Plate, let's buy Vampiric Vestments, and now we're gonna try to survive the floor.
Yep, it does.
And they're also
turn
just
that
nice
way.
enablers.
Yeah,
There's a couple of like, when you lose a shield, a blank happens. It's like, yeah, mix them together.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, sometimes you can buy these items defensively in combat, but it's oftentimes great to have them ahead of time as well. And I think Fay Plate's one of those ones that's great for both. But even better if you already have it, because it ends up saving you a lot of health in the first place.
Oh, yes.
Anyways, next item we've got is a Cage of Chimerae. This is a 4-slot item, so it's, like, super cheap. And we've also got a KCU, which is, let me see. There should be a 3-slot KCU. It'll be a bone. This guy right here. So that gives you the KC and an empty, and then you just need a single M. And you've got a Cage of Chimerae, which summons a Chaos Chimera, a Death Chill Chimera, and a Starfire Chimera to fight for you. They're just, like, generically pretty good creatures. They're a little bit on the destructive side, so you'll find that they end up doing some damage to you from time to time. But, for, like, the extremely low price, these things will carry you for, you know, at multiple realms in a row, and it's just such a cheap cost.
It's just nice having something that, when you're running into early enemies that have splash damage attacks, having a minion means if they target that, you don't get hit by the splash. It's very handy. But yes, they are dangerous. Just be aware of them.
Yeah, but for that cheap, they're really good. And also, it makes use of a handy little trick where you can deconstruct the item later and, you know, make something else with them. So, like, they're really good early, and then you can get rid of them later when you don't need them as much. So, one of the few items where I find that to be a super useful strategy, because normally it's pretty tough for me to part with items, but this one's a nice one for deconstruction later on.
Yep. And just as an extra note, it does have attributes, which means it will scale with your other summon stuff you're working on.
Right. Yeah, so it's got the minion damage, the range, the health, so you can scale it, which is nice. Next up, we have the Spirit Visor. Now, this is an item that I have a hard time purchasing, but it is extremely strong. It actually reduces your arcane and physical resist, but when you take damage, you gain shield. Now, this is extremely abusable, especially when you're getting hit by, like, a room full of, like, kobolds or, like, anyone who does, like, a very small amount of damage. This is basically take half damage, which is insanely valuable. Now, one of the ways you can kind of counteract the negative parts is there's lots of different ways of improving your physical resist, and the arcane resist doesn't really come up as much, thankfully. So yeah. It's definitely a good one.
I haven't tested this before. I don't know if you have, but does that work if you, say, cast Blood Bullet? Would the blood cost trigger the shield?
Hey folks, so I figured I'd just interject. Future past me here, we're testing out Blood Bullet plus Spirit Visor here. And let me just go ahead and do some shooting. You can see I'm at 65 health and 64, and we are not gaining shield. So yeah, it will not generate shield that way. But let's go ahead and let this enemy hit me. So now we've got a shield, and if I shoot, you can see that the health continues to get taken from underneath the shield. So while you can't generate shield with blood spells, you can still use it as a method to have, like, some safety while you're getting into this lower health range. So yeah, that's good to note. Figured I'd add this in. Alright, back to the main video. I think it goes through the shield. So health costs go through shield. So you could, like, have a shield and you know, you'd still gain the shield from it. So you could build up shield that way as well, which could be a good strategy. Once again, blood bullet's coming up.
Blood bullet.
Yeah. There's lots of cool blood options when it comes to that. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and look at Crisis Charm.
That's the holy tag, I think.
There's no
C.
no Chris. Where is it?
No H.
Oh, Crisis,
You're
no
writing my
H.
name.
Yeah, my bad. That's it's not
That's
Chris's
Chris's
charm. Yeah, that's my
It's
bad.
my charm. Get away from it.
Yeah. That's not in the game yet. Here we go. So, not being able to spell. All right, removes all debuffs and restores you to full health if you would die, discarded after use. So this is an H and a W. Ws are pretty rare, but also not useful for the overwhelming majority of builds. And for a 4 cost, you know, this is like a permanent loss of resources, so you don't really want to have this sitting unless you're like super ahead of the curve. But this is easily one of the best combat crafts you can do, because it will... I mean, it's literally designed to save your life. It's incredible.
I've had many around. It's like, oh god, quick, make a crisis charm.
Yeah, it is. It will save your life. It is fantastic. And yeah, a super cheap item, you know, despite, you know, it is a permanent cost, I guess. So that is the only downside for it. And yeah, next up, we'll take a look at winged boots. Or winged shoes. So these ones are really simple. They just grant flying. Now, this item, it's not really that important early game, but I find that, like, if you've made it to, like, realm 16 or 17, you should just have these. Like, eventually the entire screen will be red, because enemies will have perfect, like, aggro coverage. You will take damage no matter what. But being able to, like, put yourself over a pit will defend yourself from, like, most melee attackers, and also can give you just a huge amount of additional angles to defend yourself.
It's also just really handy for getting that line of sight you want, because often walking off the level, you can get a real nice peek around a corner when you're floating in the air like that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So next up, let's go over Rift Key Staff. Do you want to cover that one there, Shake?
Rift Key Staff is something I'm trying to train my brain into crafting early and often, just every run. Basically, if you want to have a really nice, successful run of Rift Wizard, the more floors you can look at means the more potential to find the components you're looking for, the shrines you want to find, or just find floors that suit your build so you have a nice, easy time through the run. And that just gives you another floor to look at. It's very valuable. Same thing with the various sigils on screen right there. Those will give you extra exits, even if you don't need the passive effect of those. It's just another floor to use.
Right. And another thing to point out with Rift Key Staff is that it's relatively cheap to purchase, so like Shake said, getting it early will change your life, essentially. But yeah, the more specific your build plan is, like, it becomes better and better the more specific you want to get. Because if you want to do, like, a nature build, and you need like 20 nature tags to complete your build, without Rift Key Staff, there's a good chance you're not going to get all the tags you need. So yeah, this thing is absolutely vital. And thankfully, we've got the next item already on screen that is another life-saving item. And this one pairs actually really well with Rift Key Staff, because it kind of nullifies the downside of it. So, Shake, do you want to go over this one as well? The Rift Breaker?
Oh, yeah. So if you're in a situation where you're just running out of casts, running out of health, if you just want to blow up a rift, you get a full suite of your spells back, you get 20 shields, you get all your health, and you're back to swinging. It can save your run, and if you have the Rift Key Staff, you don't even have to worry about losing an extra portal.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, a good combo.
Yeah, this thing is a great emergency craft, especially for, like, Realm 5. I find sometimes you're lacking the damage to deal with that Realm 5 boss, and this literally just fixes it for you. It's very convenient. And once again, this is another great decraft item as well. So, like, you can use it to save yourself and then get the parts back later to make something else, including the Rift Key Staff itself, which is freaking sweet. Next up, we're going to go ahead and look at another utility item. This one is the Echo Staff. So Shake, you want to go over this one real quick?
Echo Staff. This is a former skill from 2 that enabled a lot of my favorite builds. Basically, as it says right there, if you cast the same spell twice, the third charge right after that one is free. So you effectively add an additional 1/3 of your capacity onto the one for free.
Yeah, it is incredible value, especially since sorcery spells are such a large amount of the spell list. Like, if I go S and then S, that is 3 whole pages. 3 whole pages of the 6 total pages are sorceries. So it really comes into play. If you're doing, like, a low spell count build, or you're doing a build that's centralized around a particular sorcery, Echo Staff is just such a fantastic pickup, especially early on when charges are super tight, or directly before a boss fight, you're not sure if you're going to have enough damage reach. It'll help a lot.
Then it pairs really well with other specific builds that you might get into in the future, especially if you lean into Arcane.
Indeed. And since we're talking about Echo Staff, we can't not mention Philosopher's Stone, which is more of like a late game equivalent of Echo Staff. So Philosopher's Stone basically gives you the ability to craft your own component soup that will grant you a 10% chance per cast based on which components you put in to regain all of your spells back. So basically, if you've got a sorcery and an enchantment and like one of every type of spell that you have, whenever you cast a spell that has a matching component to the Philosopher's Stone, that will grant you a 10% chance to regain a charge of each of your spells. So it is super fantastic in the late game scenarios where you're running low on spells. There's some bosses that require an insane depth of pool for your spells, and this will definitely get you through, assuming you're able to save enough tags for that late game scenario. Next up, we'll go ahead and take a look at Blade Staff. Shake, you got any words from Blade Staff?
I mean, it's pretty clear based on that description right there. All spells and equipment gain 6 damage. That is a huge damage boost for a lot of stuff, and if you are equipment heavy, it really spreads itself around.
Yeah, this is just like generically good damage that you should pretty much have by the end of every single run. There's so many equipments where it's just like, oh yeah, it does 1 damage. It's nice. 1 little extra damage. But like, this makes it 6 times better. Like, it's so crazy how much extra damage you're gonna get from Blade Staff. And there's some builds that can even pick it up early, depending on what kind of spells you're using. But yeah, you'll be hard-pressed to find a run that does not benefit from Blade Staff. So definitely a fantastic offensive item. Maybe one of the only offensive items on the list that I'm happy to recommend, just because of the way builds end up working in this game. But yeah, Blade Staff, pretty much a must-have. Next up, we'll go ahead and take a look at Flagellant's Cup. And once again, another pretty simple one. Shake, you wanna give them the rundown on this?
Well, as the description says, at the beginning of each turn, pay 1 HP, and if you have a debuff, remove it. And debuffs are how you lose runs. Like, poison will slowly suck your life away. Being stunned for 3 turns can instantly lose your run. Being frozen, silenced, like, all of those are devastating effects.
Yep.
For 1 HP, cutting you're petrified for 4 turns to you're not petrified is a major swing in your advantage.
Indeed. Even like bleed, for example, like bleed can stack
Oh,
multiple
God.
layers and just like blow up your health bar. This just,
Yep.
it's like, oh no, I actually just took 1 HP instead. And,
Not to mention, there's the Worm Wizard and the Fallen Angel. Like, their life drain effects are so much stronger
Lethal.
than your life drain effect, and stripping that off is major.
Yeah, this thing will save your life, and the pay 1 HP, that can be an activator for other stuff too. So, just like a generally very good option, Flagellant's Cup. If you don't want to be running Purity literally every single run, this is pretty much the alternative. So, just basically like a mid-game must-have. And next up, we'll take a look at another defensive option. We're going to take a look at Vampiric Vestments. So this one is when a living unit dies, heal 5. So just another fresh healing sort. I would say about like half of the enemies in the game are living, maybe closer to a third. But a lot of the living enemies end up being like a really spammy sort. So, yeah, this is going to give you...
split.
There's like the vines and all sorts of just like random little goober enemies with like 4 HP that you can basically farm for HP on a level. So, fantastic little addition if you're looking for some immediate HP. And you'll find it very useful when there's just like a ton of little guys on screen trying to poke away at you.
Also worth noting, it doesn't specify enemy, it says unit, so if you're running dogs, for instance, when your dog dies, you also heal. Your minions, if they're alive, will proc Vampiric Vestments.
Yep, and there's plenty of very fun combos you can do with that as well. Lots of shenanigans. Next up, we'll go ahead and look at the Troll armors. So we'll go Earth Troll. We'll start off with this one. So this one's pretty simple. It's just 50% physical resist and 5 HP each turn. 5 HP doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up an insane amount. Like, this thing will make you so unbelievably tanky. This is significantly more costly than Fay Plate, but it opens up a lot of good opportunities for build synergies. And yeah, the defense is extremely welcome. It's really nice. And it also has a lightning form variant, which is
Storm Troll.
Yeah, Storm Troll armor. So yeah, there's the lightning variant, just in case you didn't find the metal or you need to dedicate it to something else. Lightning armor is equally efficient, although I personally lean toward the physical variant because there's a lot of physical damage going around. This one could be a little bit more build specific, but I mean, you could also stack them together and that would be ridiculous. It'd be very strong.
10 HP per turn? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have another healing option. We've got the Stone Eater Amulet. Each turn, eat adjacent walls, heal 10 for each wall you eat. So this one, it's a little bit situational. I personally purchased this one as an emergency buy, and it doesn't always save you, but when it does, it does its job very well. And it's you know, it's only going to be useful on levels with walls, but you can also use it to like carve out zones for yourself, to stand and summon as well. Like this can sometimes be the best way to surround yourself with summons rather than having a bunch of walls in the way.
Yep. Also just for opening up line of sight in certain levels.
Yeah, so definitely a bit more situational than some of these other items, but absolutely meritorious, I would say. And yeah, we've only got a handful more items, but let's go ahead and take a look at Plague Doctor's Cane. This is a pretty funny one. Each turn, deal 10 damage to an adjacent enemy, pushing them up to 1 tile away and stunning them for 2 turns. So this can essentially allow you to stun lock enemies. And yeah, obviously 10 HP or 10 damage isn't a ton, but it is enough to basically deal with a lot of the little guys that are going to be running at you. And yeah, it can kind of like single-handedly clear enemies. And for only 4 tags, that's a pretty darn good deal. And on top of that, it's incredible against bosses. Like, this thing can just stun lock a full-size boss forever if it's the right kind.
Yep, but just so people don't get upset, be aware, bosses do get 1 turn of clarity at the end of their debuffs, so just keep that in mind.
Right, so if they're not pure melee, they will come bonk you. But if they're pure melee, then you can just keep comboing them forever, which is nice.
Yep.
And lastly, but certainly not least, we're going to look at some resist items. There's a handful of extremely valuable resist items that I'm going to try and point out. Here's one of them, the Runespeaker's Gorget. This one just gives you straight up immunity to silence, which is insane, because silence just means that you don't get to cast your spells anymore. Unless it's like a Dragon Claw, you are completely shut down while silenced. So it's a big deal.
Worth noting, Death Touch will work if you're silenced, which I find fun.
Yeah, there's a handful of spells that do work while silenced. Is it melee spells that work while silenced?
It's melee spells that work.
So it's a bit of a specific thing, but I mean, yeah, it's so nice to be able to have silence immunity. And obviously we showed a bunch of regen options. You have the ability to acquire 100% poison resist. Now, poison will stop all healing, so having 100% poison resist is a fantastic option for removing that, and there's a couple of different options for 100% poison resist, just because it is, like, really, really valuable.
And poison's so very common.
Yes, yeah, it is quite common and quite dangerous. And yeah, I would just say if you ever need a resist, absolutely just type in resist into this top bar, and eventually, hopefully, we'll have like an attribute for resist in here to sort things out even further. But you can see that there's immunity to many of the various debuffs that can afflict the player, and sometimes an emergency purchase will save your life. Fear is extremely dangerous, as is freeze. So, you know, having these available as options, super duper handy.
Yep.
And with that, I think that's my list of generally amazing items that will save your life in Rift Wizard and make your runs substantially better. So thank you, Shake, for jumping on with me and just like talking about the various items and making sure I don't leave any stone unturned.
I got an honorable mention for you.
Oh yeah, be my guest.
Something I craft so often just because there's one enemy left on the floor. It's Brain Hat.
Brain Hat, yeah. All spells gain 1 max charge. Definitely a very nice one.
I almost feel like the game is like, just add 1 more cast to all the spells.
Yeah.
I have to buy this so often.
It's just what you need sometimes.
Right?
Yeah, and if there's any items that you think deserve to be on the list, please make sure you comment them down below. You know, I really want this game to do well, and I want people to enjoy themselves to the fullest. And part of that is learning all of the intricacies and all of the weird stuff going on in this game. So yeah, feel free to share your experiences. And yeah, Shake, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to his channel down below. He also does a ton of Rift Wizard and Rift Wizard tutorials. And yeah, we're gonna be doing a bunch more of Rift Wizard 3, so keep your eyes peeled.
Heck yeah, I love me some Rift Wizard.
Hell yeah. Alright, see ya, folks.